It should be 1 for 1 year, and then you do 2 next year for 2, and
No,
then 3
I'm
for
doing
3.
3 for the Giants.
Okay.
Oh,
All right.
I
Huzzah!
thought it was Angry Chicken related.
Kalu Kala.
It's for the Giants, yeah. Yeah. That was for 100 pence. My man, 100 pence.
Well, for what little is left of my martini. Cheers, guys.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Wonderful job. Cheers, chat room. Unfortunately, I have to bail. I have to go get ready for the other show.
We know.
Same.
We're not important.
It's fine.
Everybody enjoy the post show without me. I will not be there to drop the F-bombs.
It's okay. I'll do it.
There you go. Jocelyn, pick
Wait,
me up.
I got your back. Don't worry.
Fuck.
Fuck. One before I go.
And Josh.
And a fuckity fuck.
Best sign off ever.
Dills, what would we do without you?
I don't know.
I'd have less editing to do. But I'd be much more empty inside as a result.
Oh, man. Okay, I have to go refill my wine.
Okay. All right, chat room. Hit me with your best questions while I fill airtime until Jocelyn is back and readjust her video and turn off Dills's. Nope, that's Jocelyn's. There it is. So, let's see. Chat room, what questions are you putting in? Ramaya in the chat room says, I love Hearthstone, but I feel I'm missing out on lore because I never really played WoW. What do you suggest? For example, I enjoyed Nax in Hearthstone, but I felt I didn't get the full experience because I didn't know the whole story. Well, there's some really good Warcraft wikis out there, Ramaya. If you just search for like a Warcraft wiki, you'll find one. WoW Wiki is a very popular wiki site for the Warcraft universe. But, I mean, honestly, I play a lot of Magic, and Magic has apparently very deep, very detailed lore. I don't know any of it, and I'm honestly not that interested. I just want to play the game. So I don't think you're really missing out. I mean, I personally love Warcraft. I really care about the lore. But I think you're okay without it. But if you are interested, you know, WoW Wiki is a good place to start. And then there's a lot of novels as well out there, which are really way more detailed than you probably need to get. I would recommend any of them that are written by Christy Golden, because the
novels are fantastic.
Yeah, of all the Warcraft authors out there, I think she
nails it.
She's got a good voice for this kind of stuff, for this kind of work. She really does it. Like the other ones are kind of, I don't know, they feel like her work doesn't feel like a video game book. It just seems like a book that happens
Rise
to
of the Horde
coincide.
is particularly good if you're looking at getting into Warlords. You should read Rise of the Horde.
Yeah. But now that we've gotten to that on-topic discussion about Hearthstone and Warcraft and lore, I would like to rapidly shift gears and go to Explode, who asks the age-old question, who wins, Vader versus Darth Maul? And Jocelyn, I want you to answer this first.
Vader? Didn't Darth Maul get cut in half?
He did, but according to Clone Wars, he lived.
Well, that's true. And then he was that weird spider thing.
Briefly, and then he got like really cool, sleek robotic legs.
But then he died again.
No, he didn't. His apprentice died, but he lived.
Oh, right. Sorry, I got them confused because they were like brothers or something.
It was honestly like one of the best episodes of the Clone Wars ever. You watch Darth Maul and his apprentice face off against the Emperor.
Right.
Apprentice dies. Emperor grabs Darth Maul by the throat and says, I still have plans for you. And then you never hear from them again because Clone Wars gave every Star Wars fan the worst case of blue balls that has ever been documented.
Oh my god.
Thank you. Good night. Also, Explode, the answer is Vader. I'm sorry, but as far as lore is concerned, as far as legacy and importance and like pop culture.
And everything.
Yeah. I mean, lore-wise, he is supposedly one of the strongest Sith that have ever graced the galaxy. Yeah. I mean, obviously, if you watch original Star Wars and you watch new Star Wars, Darth Maul is quite flashier. And it's a much better choreographed fight scene, but I gotta go with Darth Vader. Okay. Welcome to the Aftershow, by the way. If you're just tuning in, you're probably very confused.
Yeah, this is where we may or may not talk about Hearthstone.
This is bonus content that goes up on the YouTube and the Patreon site where we just do Q&A about whatever the chat room happens to want to ask us. This is
my favorite part. I love this.
I look forward to the Aftershow every week, I gotta say.
Yeah.
I have a good time doing it. What did I play during my Magic tournament? I went with an Abzan deck because I got Siege Rhino, which is in strictly Abzan colors and is a friggin' bomb in limited Magic. And I also had four land cards that were mana fixing that were either dual lands or tri-lands that were all in Abzan colors. So it's just like Siege Giant, I've got 4 lands that are mana fixing in my colors, I'm playing Abzan. I also had plenty of Feat of Resistance, Abzan Falconer, and quite a few other cards. I'd have to pull up my deck to remember, but I talked a lot about it on A-Move Radio last week, and actually on last week's Aftershow, which if you're not a Patreon will go up tomorrow for everyone else. And now to find something that Jocelyn can talk about.
I did not totally mute my mic and stop listening.
No, not at all. I
would never, ever do that.
If you could pick one legendary, what would you pick? Am I the first to axe this? I don't think so. If I had to pick one, Ragnaros. Swagnaros.
Just one, like, never play with any legendary but that one?
I guess so. Yeah.
I think my favorite is Ysera, just because she's so cool and she gives you all the different cards and they're way OP. She's definitely not like she's a win more card, so it's not like I run her in every single deck. She's a lot of fun. She's probably my favorite. I love her golden art. But functionally, if I had to pick one, Lotheb, I guess, is probably the best.
Yeah, Lotheb's pretty freaking good. I think I'd still go for Ragnaros.
I'm trying to think of what I have in pretty much every single deck. And right now, at least, that's Lotheb. And sorry, 1 second. Stabmar in the chat room asked what earbuds I switched to. I'm tweaked.
Oh, nice. My cat ate my wooden tweaked earbuds. I have had them for over a year. I have jogged with them. I have fallen asleep with them in my ear. I have taken them on planes. They have been out of the country with me. And my freaking cat chewed them so much through just one night that he cracked the wood.
Wow.
Yeah. He's also, for the chat room, he has chewed the shit out of my replica sonic screwdriver from Doctor Who.
Oh, no. How is that cat still alive?
I don't know. I'm losing patience with this cat very, very quickly. Although we reintroduced some fresh catnip toys, and that seems to have... Oh, he also chewed my brand new PlayStation 4 controller.
Oh, no.
He's not even a kitten anymore. Like, he has his adult teeth. He's had them for a while. He's over a year old now.
He's just a dick.
He's just a dick. Yes, as a matter of fact, that's a delightful way to put it. He is just a dick. I am now converting the show over, so if you could pull some questions out from the chat room, I would appreciate it.
Well, Iskande says that they will replace your headphones for free regardless of what the damage is from.
I am aware of that.
Oh, okay.
Also, they've always just been wonderful to me as a sponsor, because they've been sponsors of StarCast for a long time, and now into they sponsor Into the Nexus as well. I don't know why I never got a code for Angry Chicken. It just kind of got away from me, and now a year later, I'm just now thinking of it. Why did I ever just put in a code for Angry Chicken? Because I should do that.
You should do that.
I should do that. But yeah, no, tweaked audio. I love my tweaked audio earbuds, man. I've got a couple extra pairs, thank God. But I'm probably gonna order a wood pair. So, or knowing them, they'll probably hear this and then send me another pair. Much like Scott Johnson's famous, I dropped them in the urinal and it hit another dude's wiener story. And he still got a new pair. You never heard that story? Oh my God. I don't even know. It was over a year ago on the morning stream. But they were at some type of like public sporting event. He went to the restroom. He was standing at the urinal next to another dude with his earbuds in. And one popped out and swung and hit the other dude's wiener. He told this story on the morning stream, and Tweaked Audio sent him a new pair of earbuds.
Oh, that's amazing.
The morning stream, by the way, if everyone, one of the questions we get the most often is, what podcast do you guys listen to? If you are not listening to the morning stream, you are doing yourself a massive disservice, because it is one of the greatest podcasts in the history of podcasts.
I really enjoy it, but I find I just get so far behind. I can only make it through 1 or 2 of them a week, and then
That's one of
you
the
miss
few-
out on all the inside jokes.
Yeah, but also I don't know. I feel like I used to hear every episode without fail when I had to work in an office, and now that I'm like a little bit more on my own schedule, I find I'm a lot worse about keeping up to date on daily shows. But I feel like the morning stream is one of the shows where I don't mind missing a day. Like I feel like if I'm able to listen to it when it's recording live, I just turn it on and I'm fine. So if I only hear 1 or 2 a week, it's okay. I get the gist. So.
Anarchy Zero, I think, wants to know what other names we had considered for the show when we first conceived of doing the Hearthstone podcast.
Oh God, we really
We
wanted
have a
to.
list somewhere. Maybe I can
We
find
might
it.
be able to actually pull that up.
Yeah, let me see if I can find it.
I know one that we really wanted to do was Mana Curve, and it was already taken by a Magic podcast.
And then there was something else that was like, trying to think now. It was something to do with like in something.
I think it was like the 8 drop in or something.
Something like that, yeah. And then we couldn't, or no, we couldn't, and we could have.
You were really against the in name because you already had another podcast with in the title.
Yeah.
But I was really championing for it because it was the whole look and feel of Hearthstone.
Yeah.
And then when Dills suggested the Angry Chicken, we're just like, done. And I'm like,
Yeah,
well,
that's
that's
it.
fine because I can make the logo look like an old school fantasy ensign, and then I get the best of both worlds. Fun fact about the Angry Chicken, the logo, which looks like an ensign. The first thing that came to my mind is the sign of the prancing pony from the Lord of the Rings.
Nice.
And I modeled it after that. And actually, my original draft of it had like a square cutout around the chicken, much like the prancing pony sign in the Lord of the Rings film. And when I sat back and looked at it, I'm like, this just doesn't read. There's no reason it should have this. Which
is really funny because when we were first doing Gamers In, that's what I wanted for our logo was like an in sign with the Gamers In on it. So we ended up moving away from that a little bit. But yeah, that's definitely where we were going with it too. But I found the doc. So other name ideas we considered for the show are Hero Power, Coin Scrub, Card Advantage.
Coin Scrub, because oh my God, in the beta, that was the best possible fucking opening play you could have.
Yeah.
Oh, you're taking me back.
Yep. Mana Curve, the 10-drop Tavern, and Battle Cry.
Okay. I didn't remember Battle Cry. I do. So 10 drop Tavern. Okay. So
Tavern, yeah. So it wasn't in, but
Tavern
I said,
would have been
like
so
I don't
bad.
necessarily want any more. Like,
I still argue that 10
I'm
drop
gonna
Tavern
become
was
like the in wench was my real fear. I'm like, this is the thing. All my shows are gonna have to do with ins and things.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely better nicknames you could have, but the in wench, there's also worse nicknames. I mean, let's be honest.
So Splice Stream in the chat room is asking Coin Scrub, what is that? So that was the rogue, right? So if you coined out
Defius
the
Ringleader.
Huh?
The Defius Ringleader is the actual card name, but Dills, still to this day, has a habit of never calling cards by their actual names and by their emotes instead. That's why he calls Senjin Shieldmaster the
Tazdingo.
Tazdingo, and he calls Defius Ringleader like the this is our town. He called him Scrub because they say this is our town Scrub when you play them.
So if you coined out the Ringleader, then you coined the Scrub.
Yeah. Defius Ringleader.
It was really inside.
I forget what it was. Defius Ringleader used to be, I think, a 2/2 that spawned a 2/1 out. Or no, I think it used to be a 2/3 that spawned a 2/1.
I think so. It was crazy intense.
It used whatever the stats were. I don't remember now. They were.
Defias?
Is it Defias? I always said Defius. Okay. Defias makes more sense because it's like Defy. So yeah, Defias. Whatever. I don't. You know what?
You guys know what we mean.
It doesn't actually exist.
Yeah.
Deal with it. But yeah, before it was changed, there was actually nothing in the game that could clear the board after you played coin into Defias Ringleader. So that was one of the many reasons why Rogue was just straight up unbeatable in the early beta stages of Hearthstone. So that's why Dills was like, Coin Scrub, and I'm so glad we didn't go with that because it would have been so instantly dated. I like Angry Chicken. It's just
I love Angry Chicken
it's
too.
fine. Like,
It was really like
at the time I was just like, no, 10 drop Tavern. I really want that to be it. But now
I
I'm
know,
just like,
and I was just like, no, okay, I'm voting Angry Chicken. It's so fun, which is really
what the turning point for me was getting the music from Brian. when I got the intro music from Brian and I heard this like punk rendition of the Hearthstone theme, and I'm like, well, the Angry Chicken actually sounds like a fucking band name, and we've got this amazing music, and I was really happy with how the logo came out. I was just like, I'm all in on this show. I hope it does well.
Great acronym too. TAC.
TAC, yeah, TAC.
Yeah,
Done.
way better. How would you even make an acronym of the 10 Drop Tavern?
Well,
TDT maybe?
yeah, actually, that's not that bad. One of my other favorite podcasts, My Brother and Me, their acronym is ridiculous, and it's become like a mainstay of the show. So many people refer to it as Mabibbam.
Well, why wouldn't you?
Mabimbam, that's what they call like their fans, like the Mabimbam, like circle of people. It's wonderful. Which that is my other answer when asked what podcasts do you listen to besides Nerdist, because of course I listen to the Nerdist.
For me, it's Stuff You Should Know.
I do like Stuff You Should Know, but it's not funny enough. I listen to that when I feel like I've gone too long without listening to something that I feel makes me a better person. Or educates me in some way.
I just really love Josh and Chuck, and it was like the literal first podcast I ever started listening to.
Oh, really?
So.
That's funny.
It was that, and then I found Current Geek. So,
the
so I was just like, oh my God, I love listening to people and teaching me things. I should just look up Geek on iTunes and see what comes up. And I found Current Geek, and that's how I found Frog Pants and Scott and everything else.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, mine was The Instance. And then I started listening to Extra Life Radio. And then it just snowballed into pretty much everything Scott does and Tom does. Big into Twit for a while until The Reckoning.
Sinoxia in the chat room said, did you never level through Westfall, which I assume is where all these ringleaders are? And my answer to that is for the Horde.
Oh, I was Alliance strictly up until the beginning of Lich King. So yes.
Oh, you should know this.
And I should. Oh no. I should. I just closed your window, which fucked everything up.
I was like, I can still see me. What just happened?
I should know this, but I'm pretty sure in original Westfall, which was the last time I played through Westfall, not post Cataclysm, at no point does anyone actually say Defias. It's only ever written. So I'm stuck with what my own head decided it was pronounced. So there.
Horde are not the bad guys. Horde are misunderstood.
No, and that's actually what is one of the most interesting things about Warcraft lore is how they handle the orcs.
Yep.
Really sets it apart from pretty much every other fantasy thing ever.
I really like that there is no good and bad. Like there's bad parts of the Alliance as well as there's bad parts of the Horde, you know, and it's such an interesting dynamic, and everybody's just kind of all these different shades of gray, and oh man, it's so good.
Yeah. No, it's wonderful. It's freaking Sylvanas, man.
Right?
Sylvanas.
She's awesome.
She's awesome. Kind of cute. You know, never thought I'd want to take a zombie out for like a, you know, coffee or something, but
you'd make an exception.
Just putting it out there. Just putting it out there. Hopefully Katie's not listening.
Just get Katie to cosplay as her. There you go. Mind blown.
Let's not talk about what Garrett may or may not like behind closed doors.
Oh, that took a really, really accidentally dirty turn. I'm sorry.
I was willing to like fall on that joke grenade just to bring that uncomfortable thought to your forefront. Hopefully.
Thank you. Thank you.
Enjoy that. Enjoy it. Take it with you.
Maybe I will.
Keep it close. Oh, that's what I can't find his chat room. Someone asked how I got this wonderful coif of hair, and it was I'm assuming genes. Fun fact about me: I'm adopted. No idea who my birth parents are, so I'm assuming it's genes. Because I'm a good foot taller than my dad, and my dad's bald as hell. And yes, I realize male pattern baldness actually comes from the mother's side of the family, but all of like my grandfather and all of the dudes on my mother's side of the family were also bald as hell. So I'm very, very obviously not blood related to my family. They're all short, bald, and buff as hell and really in shape. And I'm like, I have a beer gut and I'm skinny.
Nothing wrong with a beer gut, dude.
There's a lot wrong with a beer gut. When I started sweating profusely at Universal and Islands of Adventure this weekend, and we're taking pictures, I realized I need to do something about this gut. I have finally hit the point where I am not happy with my body.
Aw.
Just like, I need to do something about that. Something needs to be
This
done.
is like Garrett confession time right now.
Yeah, I don't care, man. I feel like if anyone's sticking around for this, they're my buddies, and I
True.
can tell them these things. Or I shouldn't be telling these things, but whatever. I mentioned being adopted on other shows before. It's not really a big deal to me. As for the not being happy with my stomach thing, that's a little more personal.
That's new.
Yeah. You need to stop drinking so much beer and sugary martinis.
But they're so good.
Good. And BlizzCon's coming up. After BlizzCon, I'll worry about all
I
this.
was going to say, there is no way that you are going off alcohol before BlizzCon. I will pour it down your throat.
Screw alcohol. There's no way I'm going to Southern California and not eating my weight in delicious freaking food.
They have a lot of delicious food there. I've never been.
All right. Here's what you need to know about California. It is geographically, other than Hawaii, the closest mainland state to all of the Asian countries.
Ooh.
So there is so much authentic Asian food from really any country you can think of, and it is the best, the most authentic I have ever had. You will not find anything like it anywhere else in the U.S. Maybe in Washington, but that's because, again, West Coast. The food on the West Coast is just the best I have ever had anywhere in my country.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I've already had In-N-Out. I had that at Nerdtacular this year.
Five Guys is better, so it's not even that big of a deal. It's good. It's good. I like In-N-Out. It's a good fresh burger. You can watch them cut the potatoes and make the fries there. But I think Five Guys is a superior burger establishment, and they're spread out more across the U.S. So.
Infinite Man's in the chat room says, I was just checking my Twitter. How did Bowtie and Tiny Dog not make it on the stream?
Well, my bow tie did make it onto the stream.
No, I know, but you need to have a tiny dog as well right now.
Well, because he's a fidget, so he wasn't going to sit here for 2 hours and
but
pose.
He could sit there for a minute now in the after show.
Yeah, the thing is, here's more confession, more windows into my personal life. So, Chihuahuas apparently, these are all things I've learned since Katie moved in, and with her came Bailey, the 5-pound soaking wet long-haired Chihuahua, who has stolen my heart. You and I have talked about this off stream.
Yes,
how when Katie moved in, it was her dog. Now it's our dog, and it just was kind of this effortless metamorphosis of terminology between us. Apparently, Chihuahuas like to den is what I read. That's how they put it.
I was going to say snuggle.
No, they like to kind of burrow into things and sleep there. So right now, let's see, it's 11:59 p.m. East Coast. Right now, Bailey is probably curled up into the smallest ball he could possibly make himself in between Katie's feet underneath the covers in our bed, where he will stay until I am out of the shower tomorrow morning and forcefully pull him out of the covers to bring him into the office with me so I can start my workday.
Fair enough.
Yeah, that's the Chihuahua. If I were to go grab him right now, he would probably growl at me.
You'll have to remember him for next week then, and just wear the bow tie over top of whatever else, and then you could just be like, bow tie and tiny dog, and then
that's why
away.
I posted the picture. The picture's there. You got that. I wasn't gonna sit here and
Oh, there's an actual picture. Oh, I missed the picture.
Yeah,
Okay.
I posted a picture of, I think, 20 minutes before we went live of me with my outfit and then Bailey wearing one of my other bow ties.
Okay, I have to go find that now.
It should be my most recent tweet. Yeah. Bailey's made guest appearances on the show a bazillion times where Katie's been out for some reason. He's just sleeping on the couch in the background. Sometimes chat room catches it, sometimes they don't. So
That is the best picture I have ever seen of anything in my life.
yeah, that's my dog. And I also drank an appletini tonight. So if whatever, I'm confident in my manhood. Okay.
Oh no, that is manly and awesome and just so much amazing. It's literally the best thing I've ever seen.
Oh, good to know. I'm glad that I could take part in the best thing you have ever seen.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Who saw that coming?
Me, because I know I'm that amazing. I mean, let's be honest here. I am that amazing of a person.
Someone on Twitter just said they wanted me as a pet. That's fantastic.
That's creepy. It's really creepy.
Twitter, my patience with you is really, really.
Yeah, people on the internet have been getting to me lately.
Yeah, me
but
too.
Then other people on the internet have been making me feel better about the people that have been getting to me on the internet. So thank you to those people.
True.
Thank you very much to those people. Garrett is Zach Braff in Scrubs hair, Appletinis and all. I will take that as a compliment. That is one of my favorite shows ever. Thank you, Sparky Shocker. Eagle.
What?
It's a JD quote.
Oh, okay.
You yell Eagle. Or I could sing, "We're going to steak night. We're going to eat right. We're going to steak night." I've seen Scrubs in its entirety way too many times. What is one of your favorite television shows, Jocelyn?
Ooh, well, Buffy.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. I've tried very hard to get into it. It's just too 90s.
Yeah, and that's kind of the problem with season 1. If you can get past season 1, season 2 and 3 are really, really good. But in terms of more recent stuff, I loved Fringe.
I haven't seen any. I think I saw like the first episode, and I remember being confused because it like played in place of a new House episode one night.
Oh, I'm just getting into House.
And
I think I'm on season like.
And since it opened with like somebody getting dropped off at a hospital with some bizarre conditions, I didn't realize until the credit sequence that it wasn't House. I'm like, and I was just mad. I'm like, what the frick? I tuned in for House and I got this bizarre freaking sci-fi show.
I think that's why I liked it, is because it was really, really out there, but still relatable sci-fi. You know, like it was very much like right on the cusp of where we are in terms of technology. So it's really, really interesting because there's like obviously this big, huge corporation who's like behind a whole bunch of stuff and doing research they shouldn't and pushing technology really, really far and creating all these different things. And oh man, it's so good.
What has science done? That's basically the show.
It got a little bit kind of funky in, I feel like, the second last season. It got a little bit like, oh, wait a minute, huh? Like really hard to wrap your brain around, but then they brought it back a little bit. So yeah, Hollandist in the chat room's right. Fringe is pretty much like an X-Files revamp.
I've heard that a bunch. I actually never saw the X-Files because when it was in, when it was brand new and just come out, I was young enough that it scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, my best friend was way into it. It was her favorite TV show for the longest time, and I couldn't watch it. I saw like 1 or 2 episodes with her, and I was just like, oh my God, I can't sleep for a week now. Because I was probably, I'm trying to think, we would have been like 11, 12, like way too young to be watching X-Files.
Yeah. Yeah, and you're older than me, so so I'm not wrong. I was quite young.
Yeah, no, you were, you would have been. Because you're 2 years younger than me?
I'm 27. I'll be 28 in January.
Okay, so 3.
And you're 30?
Yes.
Oh, you did? Yeah, because we had your birthday at Nertacular. We did a thing.
Yeah, we did.
It was your 30th. What do you mean, yeah, we did? It was one of the most fun things I've ever done.
Well, that's true. Yeah, my birthday was fantastic. But yeah, now I'm 30, which is less fantastic.
Like just about every podcaster that was responsible for me podcasting was in attendance. So I was a little jazzed.
Yeah, that was so much fun.
Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I still can't believe Tom Merritt was at my birthday.
Yeah, it's funny. I love Tom.
He's such a nice guy.
Yeah.
But so yeah, other than Fringe and Buffy, I'm trying to think. Well, I watched Grey's for a while, but I fell off. Walking Dead is also fantastic. I just tonight started watching again because I stopped halfway through last season, and then I stopped at the worst time ever. I stopped at like the most boring episode.
Last season was the first time since the first season that I actually liked the show again.
Oh, really?
I almost gave up on it completely. I thought season I thought season 2 was almost unwatchable, and season 3 took such a huge dump on what I think is one of the greatest villains in the history of comics that I couldn't get over it.
Yeah, and I've read the comics now.
So like, hey guys, what if we had the Joker But he just, how about we just neuter the Joker? What if he just didn't kill nearly as many people? What if he didn't paralyze Batgirl? Why don't we just take all the things everyone really latches onto as making the Joker a memorable villain and just left all of it out?
Yeah.
Well, simultaneously,
there were some scenes in the comics that I was just like, whoa, I can understand why this did not make it onto TV.
I do get it, and I know a lot of people, and this might be spoiler territory. So
yeah, if you guys are really
mild Walking Dead spoilers, if you're concerned about that stuff.
If you haven't seen season 3, because I'm not through season 4, so if it happened in last season, then
if you're not past the jail in either the show or the comic books, walk away now.
That's the episode that I just watched.
What, the end of the jail?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is why I was like, oh my God, I can't believe that I left off one episode before this.
Chat room, YouTube. So the episode you left off at was the governor, hobo governor.
Yes, yeah.
Which is funny because that was the first time I've ever given a fuck about the TV show's governor.
Oh man,
I actually liked that episode.
Is I really didn't like him as a villain, as a character, as an actor, like just nothing. I didn't enjoy him anytime he was on screen. So then when there were 2 episodes in a row that were just his story, I was just like, oh, I don't care.
Gotcha.
And then I dropped off after his second episode. But then
then shit
the
hits
one
the
I
fan.
watched today was like mind blowing, like best TV I've ever seen sort of stuff.
Yeah. Now I backtracking a bit. I know a lot of people when fans of the book like me say that they're mad at the show because it didn't include some of the most brutal elements of the governor from the books, that they're like, well, I'm sorry that they didn't put a really bad rape scene in. It's like, no, I'm not talking about just the brutality that the governor inflicted on other people that built his character, although part of it is that, but more so certain brutality that was inflicted upon the governor after that. Mm-hmm. That's
the scene that I was talking about.
The relationship between Michonne and the governor in the comic books is incredibly well written. There's a lot at stake, and you totally understand why the 2 of these people want to absolutely torture and murder each other in the worst ways possible, and you totally buy it and you believe it. But in the show, they left out all of that, but they still kept in these 2 people having a rivalry. And it just didn't make sense because they had no reason to hate each other. They're just well, this is for the book. No, you need some type of plot there. Mm-hmm. It doesn't need to be as bad or as vile as it is in the book, because honestly, that is really dark. But you know what? They also kept in one of the darkest things from the book at the end of last season.
Oh, don't say, because I haven't gotten there.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
I literally just watched the jail.
There's another really good, it's hard to say really good dark moment. It's a moment that, but that's what The Walking Dead is it takes you to these really deep, disturbing parts of humanity, but then it brings you back out of it. And it's constantly playing with this ebb and flow of loss of hope and regaining hope. And that's why I really enjoy the show and the book. And there's a really good scene in both the comics, and it actually did make it through to the show that you're going to get to soon.
Oh, good. I'm excited.
But yeah, that's all I'll say then. But no, I'm totally back on board with the show, by the way. We watched the premiere last night, and I think it is one of the single greatest episodes ever of the series.
Nice.
The premiere for the new season was amazing.
I did hear that. I was trying to stay off Twitter as much as possible because everyone was really, really jazzed about it. And I actually have all the cable now from basic through HBO. I'm super stoked. So I'm going to get to watch everything actually as it happens.
Nice.
And so everyone was talking about Walking Dead, and I was just like, oh man, but I can't, because I was watching Giants and, being a good sports fan. So, and plus I wasn't all caught up on Walking Dead, so I wasn't about to just jump in at the start of a new season. That'd be stupid. So I'm trying to catch up on what I missed last season. So
gotcha.
Pretty much going to be binge watching after that episode today. I was just I watched it to kill time before Angry Chicken, and I was just like, oh my God, I just want to watch more. And I was like, I can't. I have to try out this Hunter deck. But Walking Dead.
The chat room's asking about Gotham, and I'm curious, is it better? Because I watched the first episode and I think it was some of the worst television I've ever seen.
I watched the first episode too. I think it had some redeeming qualities. I think basically what happened is it's clearly a pilot.
I thought the look was pretty. I thought it was written by a 10-year-old who's really liked Batman.
Yeah, that's kind of the problem. I hate the partner. Like, he's just awful. He has terrible lines. He's a terrible actor. Like, he just, oh, yeah, no, I was just like, oh my God, this is the
He's
worst.
the most like cliche, like crooked cop character I've
But it's
ever
like they
seen.
can't even write it, and it's a cliche. Like, everyone else has written these lines. They don't even have to make them up, and yet
And
somehow
I was
it's
just like,
terrible.
I wanted to throw a brick through my television because I felt like every scene was like, hey, do you know which villain this guy is? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Jabbing you with their elbow. It's like, yeah, I get it. Congratulations. You just made your universe 10 times smaller by showing that, oh, this was all connected. No, stop it. This is why the prequels of Star Wars are garbage.
So I think that that's kind of the problem. Is the first episode is the pilot, so it's kind of the thing where they had to hook network people. So they had to say like, look at all the cool characters that we've developed. Look at how they're all going to play into the series and everything else. So I haven't seen the second episode. Chat room is confirming that number two is better, way better than one. And I feel like that's just the problem with the first episode of a show, right? Is they just, they have to try to hook you. They have to show you everything because they get one shot at it. So
Yeah. But you said you're not just now getting in the house. Episode 1 of House is great. Like it's good TV.
it is, but it's from a different era of TV, I think. TV nowadays is just so much more like grab 'em, big budget type stuff.
Yeah, I mean, to a
you
certain...
can't get away with subtlety so much. And I think that that's where House really, and everything from that kind of time, is you didn't have to show everything in the pilot to get people to say, oh, this is kind of an interesting thing.
Yeah.
Like now people in a pilot want to see like, well, how much can you explode? How big is your budget going to be? Like
Yeah, but look
how
at
many heartstrings are you going to pull?
Look at the shows that are really successful right now. Look at Walking Dead, for example. Episode 1 is actually just a lot of a dude in a hospital garment wandering around.
True. But see, that's not network television. Like AMC, HBO, like all different. Like this is like NBC, CBS, like.
Oh, I know. But
Yeah,
the thing
that's
is
the
network
difference.
television is traditionally garbage, and this is just playing into more of the garbage that is on network television. This is why I didn't watch Hannibal for the longest time, and it turns out Hannibal's one of my favorite things ever now. But I assumed that, oh, it's on network, this is gonna suck.
And Hollowness in the chat room is saying, so just basically appeal to stupid people. Yeah, literally. When you're doing a pilot for network TV, like especially in the last, I'd say 5 years, every single pilot has just been appealing to the lowest common denominator, and that's how they get shows. Like really
Yeah.
and truly, if you go watch the pilot of anything that started, even like I want to say Arrow is probably the least offender, I think. The pilot for that was actually pretty good. It was more of a draw you in without telling you everything thing in terms of super. Oh, Arrow is actually another one that I really enjoy. But yeah, for the most part, like it's just so awful and terrible. Everything is just so
man.
bad.
Sparky Shocker in the chat room is bringing up Terra Nova, which was a show I was so excited for. And actually, the first episode, wonderful. The rest of it, steaming, flaming pile of shit. Like it is a terrible show. But the first episode sets up a very interesting universe. But the funny thing is I'm actually way more interested in the dystopian future that they set up, that they leave to go back in time, than I am in the back in time part.
Yeah. And so, yeah, they're just saying that there's too many stupid shows and all the good shows are canceled. And I completely agree. Most of my favorite shows have been canceled after 1 or 2 seasons. So, yes, Arrow is also a show based on one man's abs. I'm not going to deny that. And there's nothing wrong with that salmon ladder.
I'm trying to think of a show that I've watched just because I've found someone on it attractive. I can't think of
It's
one.
a really, really interesting story too, though.
Is it? I've been avoiding Arrow because again, it's network TV. Also, DC, like Green Arrow is kind of a dumb character.
He's actually really compelling, I think.
I've heard they do a good job in it. It's just something about it. It like I don't know. It's still like from a distance. I've seen clips and I've seen previews, and Deathstroke looks kind of cool. But it still
I really
has
like the
this-
actor that plays Deathstroke.
It still has this like shell of network TV where everyone is white and beautiful.
Oh
And I
yeah, no,
can't
it
buy
totally does. Totally
And I
does.
just don't buy
Everyone
it.
on that show is you're just like,
I'm just
really? Nobody is that pretty.
I'm just like,
nobody's that pretty.
Could somebody over at network TV please look at all the other shows that are winning awards, pulling in more viewers than extended cable has ever seen? Look at Walking Dead, look at Breaking Bad, look at Game of Thrones. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's some pretty people on there, but you know what? There's a lot of people with wrinkled ass faces and some skin issues, and they look like people that exist. Like they hire them because they're good actors, not because they're gorgeous.
But see, that's kind of the thing. With a couple of exceptions, most of the people in Arrow are actually really good actors. I like really the core three. I like the guy that plays Arrow. I like his kind of like sidekick dude, and I like Felicity Smoke a lot. A lot.
Cool. Well, maybe...
Oh, Supernatural! Thank you, Explode. Yes, I love Supernatural.
I haven't gotten into it yet. I keep being told, since I am a huge Doctor Who and Sherlock fan, that's like the next evolution of British television.
Yeah, I haven't, or I didn't get into Supernatural until probably about 8 months ago, and I've been kind of like watching it on Netflix, and 8 months ago, I had to take somebody else's TV watching into consideration, so I didn't get through it as fast as possible. I'm probably on season like 6 now, but I can watch it much faster now, which I'm super stoked about.
Have you seen the BBC Sherlock series?
I think I've seen an episode, but my problem with that is that usually when I'm going to watch TV, I don't actually have big chunks of time. I've got like 45 minutes. So with those episodes being like an hour and a half, I'm kind of like, I don't really have like movie amounts of time. I have TV amounts of time.
Watch them like I watch Lord of the Rings. I split it in half.
Oh.
Like I usually watch Lord of the Rings when I want to watch a movie, but I don't want to watch a 3-hour movie. So I watch like 90 minutes of it, and then like the next night I'll just pick it up where I left off.
Oh no, chat room's telling me to stop at season 5. Oh man. I kind of was worried about that because Supernatural I think is still on TV. They're on season like 11 or something. I'm just like, oh, I wonder if it's still good, because they've kind of, I feel like now, and I must be around season 5 or 6, I can't actually 100% remember. And this subject matter that they're dealing with right now, I'm kind of like, where do you go from here? So the fact that there's another like 5 or 6 seasons after that, now that comment has me really, really worried.
Who asked? Who is this? Your name is that green I can't read, but someone asked my thoughts on the new Doctor. I'm surprised by how much I like him. It
was Pale and K.
Oh, okay. When Katie and I are both really big Doctor Who fans, and when we heard there was going to be a new Doctor, our initial reaction was, oh my God, get Hugh Laurie in here. House as the Doctor would be the most wonderful thing ever. And honestly, Peter Capaldi reminds me a lot of House as the Doctor. So while I didn't get exactly what I wanted, I did kind of get what I wanted. So I'm happy to see a slightly more crotchety, significantly older Doctor. Definitely brings back that kind of old school time traveling Jules Verne Victorian era kind of feel to it that I really like. So I like him. I like him a lot. And I can tell Jocelyn has muted her mic again.
No,
not at all. You should watch Doctor Who.
I tried. Okay, I gave it 3 episodes.
Just go straight to David Tennant episode 1. Just skip Eccleston. Personally, I really like Eccleston, but I don't think it's for everyone. I didn't
mind him. I don't like the chick. And so far, I mean, there was the weird dudes trying to like infiltrate Parliament with a fake spaceship crash.
That is a terrible episode.
Yeah, so there was that, and I think that was a 2-parter. So
it is. It's terrible. I like episode 2 where he shows her the end of Earth. How Earth dies. Yeah. I like that.
But then there's that weird lady that's like just skin or something.
But episode 1 and episode 3 and 4 are really bad. But watch.
So you're saying I should keep going because I do like the actor.
Watch. It's funny. I've actually typed up a cheat sheet for friends that was based off of Tash's, who writes our notes, his cheat sheet to me. But if you want to watch some good Eccleston, watch. It's a 2-parter. Watch The Empty Child and The Doctor Dances.
Am I still gonna understand it if I haven't watched?
You will be. The thing about Doctor Who is if you know that all you need to know is that he's an alien. He can regenerate, and he flies around in a time-traveling blue box. If you understand that...
I didn't know he could regenerate, so...
He can regenerate, and that's why there's different actors that play him. When he dies, there's a process called regeneration, and to cheat death, his whole body regenerates all his cells, and it actually gives him a new body and somewhat changes his personality.
Interesting.
But he still has all of the memories of his past lives.
Very cool. So then if that happens when they die, because isn't he like the last one or something?
He's the last Time Lord, yeah.
So
they can still die. If they're killed during the regeneration cycle, they're dead for good.
Oh, okay.
So there's a little bits of lore, and apparently, and since it's been going since the friggin' 60s, there's all kinds of crazy crap. But
I feel like I also saw an episode, and I can't remember. It might have been the next episode after the end of the world. But there was something. It was like old-timey London.
Was there a kid in a gas mask?
Huh?
Was there a kid in a gas mask during World War II?
It was like 6 months ago when I watched it.
That might have been.
There was definitely something to do with gas because it was like in the gas lights in the London funeral parlor or something.
Oh no, that's the Christmas special from Eccleston's era. I actually like that episode. But
yeah, it was pretty good. Yeah, it's one of those things where it wasn't enough to just pull me in and want to watch the show.
Aaron in the chat room recommends Blink, which is what everyone recommends, and there's a reason for that because it's a really good one-off episode. You need to know literally nothing else to enjoy it, and it's just a stellar episode. So watch Blink.
Okay.
Anyways, yeah, I don't know. Give it. I really like Eccleston era, but there are a few stinkers in the beginning. It gets off to a rocky start.
Yeah,
it smooths out incredibly.
Does she get better? The companion?
She's my favorite companion, and I've
Really?
I've seen every episode since the modern Who started. Because if you latch on to Tennant, which a lot of people do, who is the doctor after Eccleston, they have a good relationship that you kind of latch on to.
Okay.
But that's me. Katie and I are very much hooked on the Eccleston/Tennant era, and since Rose spans both of those doctors, you kind of latch onto her too as the companion.
She may grow on me. I found her a little bit kind of like flaky and whiny at the beginning.
Yeah. No. They kind of play that up. You know, oh, she's the blonde that works in the department store, but like very quickly she kind of comes into her own.
Well, that's good. Maybe I'll give it a try again then. I have to resubscribe to Netflix.
Ooh, yeah, man. If you, that's all I lived on when I was in LA. Had no cable, just Netflix.
I know, but now I actually have a bundle that if I was to get internet on my own, then it would be the same price as having the full-blown cable package. So I would now have the full-blown cable package so I can watch sports again, and it's the greatest thing of my entire life.
Yeah. No Splice Stream. I haven't watched Broadchurch yet. Or no, that wasn't Splice Stream. That was Mospooky. It's on my list. It's on my list to watch Broadchurch. I haven't seen it yet. I've heard it's amazing. But I direly need to go to bed. This has been the longest after show I think we've ever done. That's true. We're almost at an hour for the after show. Yeah, I hope you liked the extra podcast this week, everyone. But it's been so much fun. We've had such great questions. Yeah, it's been fun. Anywho, yeah, I really do need to get to sleep though because I got to work tomorrow. But thanks for hanging out with us. And it's a whole hour later. Man up. At least I stick around for it instead of Dills. I just leave for some sports ball show. Anyways, thanks for hanging around, everyone. Hope you enjoyed the after show. See you next week.